Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. Though the title of this tutorial is a rule of 6, but actually it is about the positions and the size and shape of image in different stages in front of spherical mirror. So this is very important, and I said it is a rule of 6 as because there is a number that we need to mention about 6. Why this is rule of 6, I'll explain it later, and that is why I figured 6 individual pictures that we definitely need to understand that what is the explanations of the image that is formed in different spaces in front of the spherical mirror. So when we explain about image, we need to know that in my previous video I explained about image, what is the definition of it, and we know actually that there are two types of image, that is real and virtual. So in some cases here it's rule of 6, and in this tutorial I shall explain about this is concave mirror, and there are 6 different positions where an object can be, and based on that position the narration or the description of image will definitely differ. Why? Because in which positions an object can be? Object can be a very, it's very far from this accounts, and this is called the object at infinity. In second stage, it can be like object in between infinity and the center of curvature. This is the second position. I'm coming up with the total explanation after watching this whole tutorial. If you have that sort of intention to learn it, that after watching this whole tutorial, do let me know in the comment section that was it actually helpful for you. So the object in the center of curvature, this is number 3. Object in between the center of curvature and the principal focus. Object in the focus. And the 6th position can be that object in and between the focus and the pole of the mirror. Now you think why this is called the rule of 6. You know that this position, that is object at infinity, known as number 1. The object between the center of curvature and the infinity is known as 2. The positions in the center of curvature is 3. Then similarly it is 6. So what is the most interesting part of it? That how we can actually identify what would be the position of image if we see the number of position of object in spherical mirror. If you see that object and the position of image, we can calculate it by the word 6. That means if the object is placed in the infinity, suppose object is placed in the infinity, which is number 1, then the image of that object will be formed in the principal focus. Because we must know the number of principal focus position is 5. Now if you just come together, it's just in front of it, so the object, if it is placed in between the center of curvature and the infinity, that means the second position, then you must know if the object is in second position, then the image would be in the 4th position. If the object is in 3rd position, that means in the focus and in the center of curvature, then image will form in the center of curvature. So you see the summation of all positions will always 6, and that is why it's known as rule of 6. If you just think about that the position of object in number 4, that means between the center of curvature and the principal focus, then the image would be in number 2, that means image will go beyond the center of curvature. Think about the number 2 position. If the object is placed in the principal focus, that would be the reverse. If the object is in infinity, then the image would be in the principal focus. When object is in principal focus, the image would be at infinity. And then lastly, when object much closer, I mean the pole and between the principal focus, then the object would be outside of the mirror, outside of the mirror. Okay, now you might have questions like, wow, this is very good. Okay, but now I need to know that how to draw this figure and what is the insight of this study, and how we can actually find that where would be the positions of image in this case. I hope you understand. It's just a preliminary idea that if the object is in number 1, the image would be in number 5. If the object is in number 2, image would be in 4. If the object is in number 5, image would be in number 1. That means the summation of all these positions would be 6, and therefore it's known as the rule of 6. One more thing. When we will be explaining the description of image, we need to think about 3 categories. Number 1, we need to say where is the position of the image. Number 2, the nature of the image. Is it a real image or is it virtual image? If it is real or inverted, if it is virtual and erect. So the nature of the image is also important. Third is that the size of the image. Is it magnified or is it diminished, or if the image is equal to the object. So we can have some options when we explain the image. So in some cases you think about the position can be in 6 places like this. The nature can be real or virtual, erect or inverted. So if it is erect, that means it's actually upright, and this is the inverted. In case of size, if the image is equal to the object, or image is extremely diminished or diminished, magnified or extremely magnified. So depends on the position of the object. And that is why we will draw these 6 figures here to make it really understandable that why this rule of 6 is extremely interesting. So I hope you understand why this is rule of 6 is called. So now let's draw the figure. Okay, I'm just moving it and then we will be explaining that why. Now you think, I just keep it off. Number 2. Started from number 2. Okay, so think about it. This is C and this is F. So though I'm just writing with my bare hand, but when you will draw it, you must follow the process. You must use your compass and your pencil to draw it in a good way, and then you draw with your scale, and then you find the midpoint of CF. Like when you draw to your compass, so pick a point and then go with this and this like it be here. So you will have a drawing like that and then this point. So then using your scale, do it. And then what will you do? You must find out the midpoint of this. So use a compass, you can use it and use it, use it and use it. Then you'll find this point and this point. When you add, you'll find the midpoint of C and P, which is F. So in all cases, you must follow this process. This F should be the midpoint of CP. Otherwise, when you draw, image might change. So errorless and accuracy is very important. Accuracy is requested. I mean, it's required to explain and to draw these all figures correctly. So I might have some mistakes because this F might not be the midpoint of these. So I will give you some idea how to draw it, and you will see that the results is definitely followed by the rule of 6. So now let's start. Okay, think about this one. So think about the second one, because the first one I'm coming on the last time. The second one is is in between the infinity and the center of curvature. Now you think what will happen. It will happen how this form will be, and you see, think about it. A parallel lines will be immersed here, and then this is the principal axis, and a light ray will be going through this parallel line and then coming back with the principal focus. So this is the principal focus, and you think about, this is the principal focus, and this should be the line. And then what should be the second line? The second line is this, like it will go to the C, and then you see, if a light goes with the directions of center of curvature and it falls into the mirror, then it will be coming back with the same paths. And you know, you have already watched, if you have watched my videos on the rays in different actions, then you must know that I explained it earlier. Then this is the mirror. Now you think, in which point the reflected rays actually converged? Here. And there would be the image of the first point, and image would be like this. So what we can see simply with your eyes, you see simply and apparently we can see that the length or the height of the image is comparatively smaller than the height of the object. And you see where the object is formed, it is the positions number 2, and this is the position number 4. You see the position number 4 is in between C and F. You see, in between C and F it was formed. Now after completing this task, what is the explanation of this image? So we can say the position is in between C and F. We can see the nature of the image. Nature is real. Why? Because the reflected ray actually converged in a point. And you know that from the definition of image, when the reflected ray actually converged, that is the real image. And you see, this is inverted. So in case of nature, we can say this is real and inverted. And in case of size, we must see that apparently we can see this is smaller. So we can say this is diminished. So we need diminished, that means smaller. So this is the explanation of the image when object would be in between C and infinity. Okay? Now think about the third one. If I say the object in 3, that means in the center of curvature, then what will be the image options? Like in this case, you see, this is the object which is placed in C, and the center of curvature. So we can say that as it is a concave mirror, so this is the mirror, and this is C and this is F. Okay? And now you think that if a parallel line goes to the mirror and then it will come back through the principal focus. So it will come back through the principal focus like this. And then what would be the second part? The second part is that you see that only the focal point is left. So when it will go to the focal point, it will come back with the parallel line of the principal axis. So when the second part will be like this, I mean it just goes through the principal focus, and this is the object, then it will be here like this. So it definitely like this. Now you see where where the object and the image is formed. Image formed in the third positions. That means where the object is, image would be formed at that place, as because this is the 3-number position and this is also the 3-number position. Okay, so now what is the position? So we can say the position at C in the center of curvature, the nature is real and inverted again, and the size, now the size is actually equal to the object. So we can say this is equal to the object. Okay, similarly, now I think about the position number 4. So in case of position number 4, if I say this is C and this is F, so now the object will be in the midpoint of C and F. So now you think what will happen. Now a parallel line would be appearing here, and then after reflections it will go to the F, as because this is C and this is F. Now what would be the second part? The second part is when the light actually comes through the F, then it would be again parallel to the principal axis, and then it will go this way. So now you think where the reflected rays actually converged in this point. So now you see the image would be like this, image would be like this. So you see this is the height of the object and this is the height of the image. So in this case, what would be the position? The position is, as because this is the position of 4, the image position would be a 2. So the position is between infinity and the center of curvature. Now what is the nature of the image? That is definitely real and inverted. Real and inverted. And the size is, now it's magnified. It was equal, it was diminished, and I'm coming to nearer to the mirror. So now the size is magnified. Okay. Now what about the position number 5? In this case, this is a mirror and this is a mirror also. So this is C and this is F. Now the positions of the object in number 5. So it would be here actually, in this case. So now if it's in this case, what will be the first rays? So when it will be like the parallel to the principal axis, it will come back to this principal focus. Okay, and now what will happen? Now a most interesting part will happen. This is the mirror actually, and now what will happen? This C, I mean the center of curvature theory will be applied. That means the object, this should be the process, and this is the reflected ray to this C. That means a ray that is parallel to the reflected ray like focus, I mean to the C, they will come back, and these parallel lines, they will never meet again. So that means the position of the object is number 5 and the image is forming at the infinity. So here we can say the position at infinity, and the nature is, it can be real and inverted, or it can be virtual or erect. So real and inverted, or it can be virtual and erect. And the size is extremely extremely magnified, as because the image is forming at the infinite, so we can't see it, so that is a very big or extremely magnified image will be formed. So I hope the explanation of this image is understandable. Now think about the last part, the sixth one. What will be happening? Here object in this position, I mean as it is F, this is P and this is C. Now the position number 6 is between pole and focus. What will happen? So similarly, like before, this is a parallel line will be formed, and then it will coming back with the line of focus. So it will be like this. So focus would be this way. So now you got one reflected rays. What about the others? The others would be like this. I mean it will be formed to the parallel lines of C, and then if we make a virtual lines here, they will form here. So the image would be here, because these lines they will never meet again. But if we see the erect is appearing to come from this way, so the object would be here, and this object is actually virtual. This object is virtual. You see that in this case, and this case, in these four cases, always the nature of the image was real and inverted. But in this case, the nature would be virtual and erect. So the nature is virtual and erect. So if the question is that what type of image will be formed in concave mirror, the answer is both virtual and erect. Both virtual and real. So real image will definitely formed in concave mirror, and also virtual image will be formed. And now the size is magnified, not extremely magnified. So the position is outside of the mirror. So now you have all the explanations in 5 cases. Okay? Now the first one. The object in infinite, and I don't know where is the object, but I know through the rules that the image will be formed at the focal point. So now I can say that, okay, how to draw it? We can say that 2 parallel line is coming from the infinite, and after reflecting they converged in the point of F. I mean here this will be formed, and then we can actually converge this line this way. So this would be the first line that I didn't actually explain it earlier, because I wanted to explain you that this is the real formation, but this one are slightly different. So number 1, position means the object is in infinite and the position in focus. So what is the positions? The positions at the principal focus. The nature is real and inverted, and the size is extremely diminished. So now the all explanations in front of you. If you actually got some patience to see the total tutorial and the full-length tutorial, and after watching this video, I hope that you can draw the first, second, third, fourth, fifth and sixth part of it, and this is very, very interesting. I feel this is very interesting. I hope that I would receive some recommendations, your feedbacks, and your feedback after watching this tutorial. If you find it very good, then rule of 6 is something very special and very interesting, and that is definitely gives you shortly where can be the position of image if in different positions. So from the question paper, when you got the idea the position of object you can easily assume where can be the image and what is the nature of the image. So more you go nearer to the mirror, then the image would be bigger. So if you go further than before, the center of curvature, the image would be smaller. So in case of 1, 2, the size smaller. In case of 3, this is equal. If you go further, 4, 5, 6, it would be bigger, that is magnified. And in all cases, the nature of the image would be real. But in one case, that means number 6, when object is very near to pole, the image would be virtual. Okay? So I hope you understand, and that is the whole explanations of the 6 places where can be the object is, and then is the image formation. So hopefully you understand the descriptions and explanations of this. Let me know your recommendations. Take care. See you on the next class with linear magnification. Bye.